Right lads, I'm your host, Amanus Kebab, and I have a problem. I'm addicted to drugs. Not really, but I have developed a crippling addiction to buying microtransactions. I've already spent around 12 grand in the past 3 months. I'm not really sure which one would have been better, to be honest. Mobile games. The art of smacking something the size of this into something the size of this. Mobile games have been huge ever since the late 2000s with the release of the iPhone. They did exist before that, but playing Snake on a 2002 Nokia is not exactly what I'd call a highlight of my childhood. Now, there have been thousands of mobile developers over the past decade and a half, but one of the biggest, and best in my opinion, started in a country most people forgot existed. Supercell. These guys are absolute giants in the mobile market. Their games have tens of millions of active players every day due to their simplistic nature, ease of access, and huge market, due to the fact that everyone and their nan has some sort of touchscreen device. I think it's safe to say, if you're watching this video, you've played at least one of Supercell's games. The company itself was founded in 2010 and is based in Finland, a country which not only makes bulletproof phones, but also is the home of Reveal and Fingersoft, two other huge mobile companies, famous for hill climb racing and Angry Birds respectively. Although this company only has 5 mobile games, with a 6th in the works, these 5 have netted them billions of euro, not through game sales, but rather in-app purchases in said games, to either give players an advantage or speed up certain game elements. We'll cover microtransactions in each of these games as we go along, starting off with their first, released in 2012. The first is Heyday, a calming farming game where your goal is to simply run a farm. This game is pretty similar to another mobile game, Farmville, which isn't really a surprise. Many mobile games either copy or straight up steal each other's ideas. But anyways, let's see what this game's got going for it. This is my first forte with this game, and starting off, we're greeted by a scarecrow. I'm already getting Wizard of Oz vibes. We've inherited our uncle's farm, and it's now our job as the player to take over the running of said farm. The gameplay here is pretty simple. We just build up our farms by harvesting some corn, feeding chickens, and giving into impatience by paying gems to the mobile gods. This game, like many others, uses an in-game currency to speed things up, and although you can play without spending money, it's heavily encouraged. Looking past that, however, it's a pretty solid game. Definitely on the more boring side for me personally. I'm not really a big fan of waiting for crops to grow, but overall, not a bad experience. Just another build up your city slash farm slash area as big as you can game. Clash of Clans. Now this one I played. Released in 2012, this is easily Supercell's best known game. A game everyone played in school, on the bus, at a funeral. Yeah, this game was addictive. Clash of Clans is a simple base building strategy game in which you build up the defenses of your base and raid fellow Earthlings' bases. Building your base requires resources such as coins and elixir, and like Heyday, building anything takes time, precious time, in which your base could be attacked. So the game lightly encourages you to spend money on gems to speed up this process. However, for me, that always defeated the purpose of this game. Like, the whole point was you'd spend hours building up your base to show off to your friends. If you're paying money, well, sure, you get it a lot faster, but at that rate, what's the point in spending 500 bucks just to have a cool base in 2 hours? The game itself, it's fun. I was never huge into it myself, but I can see the appeal. We have numerous different units like archers, barbarians, and giants to attack bases defended by walls, mortars, and cannons. We can both attack AI and real players either through random battles or this semi-campaign thing. However, that's only the clash side of things. What about the clans part? Well, clans allows you to both engage in war and, most importantly, not talk to people. Clash of Clans is the definitive Supercell game, and probably their best known work. But what about my personal favourite? Boom Beach. Now this is what I call a game. I loved this game as a kid. It follows a similar formula to Clash of Clans, but in my opinion is better, which will immediately turn heads, but hear me out. Boom Beach centres around the idea of liberating islands in the middle of a tropical sea, probably inspired by the real life island hopping that occurred between the US and Japan in the Second World War in the Pacific. Our enemy here is the Blackguard, who are based on... You know what, I'll let you guys figure that out. The Blackguard takes the form of either AI or player-owned islands, meaning yes, technically you were also part of the Blackguard. What have I become? Your forces are deployed by landing craft and consist of units like the Rifleman, Zuka, and Warrior, who are quickly mowed down by a mix of sniper towers, mortars, and machine guns. We also have a gunboat to support your troops, either by slowing down enemy defences, healing troops, or destroying defences. Your base defences are built up using a combination of resources borrowed from the locals such as wood, stone, and iron. alongside the building of statues to boost stats. For side modes, we have both task force missions that can be done alongside your fellow clanmates, and beyond that, that's about it. A very fun game, not as fun as I remember, but no complaints beyond that. Clash Royale. Now this is an odd one. This game strays away from the formula of waiting for things to happen and actually lets you play for hours on end, unlike the other 3 games. A feature I have fallen victim to many times. Clash Royale is a 1v1 card-based tower defense game, where your goal is to destroy your opponent's 3 towers while defending yours using a deck of 8 cards. These cards each hold a unit ranging in different amounts of elixir, a substance used to deploy said units. These units range from dragons to wizards to whatever the hell this guy is. The concept here is super simple, but by god is it hectic. This game is one of very few games that gets me properly angry, but getting a win is super satisfying, especially when they spam fucking emotes. We have different arenas here, with you changing arena every time you advance up a league. As always, we have clans and clan wars, alongside special modes. So where are the microtransactions, you ask? Well, they come in the form of chests, which give you extra coins and cards, including legendary ones, which are higher in rarity and arguably better. However, I do think these microtransactions are actually implemented in a fair way. They don't give a huge advantage, but are here for anyone who wants that extra boost. And finally, Brawl Stars. I didn't like this one. So Brawl Stars is a top-down 3 vs 3 third-person shooter using the capture the flag type game mode. The game uses different fighters like in Overwatch or Apex Legends, each having their own abilities and fighting styles such as ranged and brawlers. The gameplay? It's okay. Shooters have never really worked great on mobile, in my opinion, even ones optimised for the platform like Pixel Gun. Touchscreen controls just feel off and inaccurate for a genre in which accuracy is pretty important. Even though Clash Royale only has one main mode, every match in that game feels different and makes the game very addictive. Brawl Stars just feels like a generic shooter with little to do, and games just getting repetitive very quickly. Microtransactions here also come in the form of chests, alongside a battle pass. A battle pass did also exist in Clash Royale, but here we now get access to not only upgrades, but also cosmetics for each character. Overall, Brawl Stars is okay, but it's still probably the worst of the 5 games. So what have we learned today? Well, these are all solid games. Simple, but solid games. Yes, they're all loaded with microtransactions, some more than others, but they're all high quality mobile games with a lot of fun to be had in them. They've also made Supercell filthy rich, but hey, thanks to this, the Finnish economy is booming, and they are the happiest country on earth. And people say money can't buy happiness.